Hello, everybody. I'm back. I'm here. How's it going? How's everybody doing? How do you do a stream? What do I say? Hello. Hi. It's been 2 weeks. Longer than that, probably. I have no idea. Hello. My name's Bug. I'm in a band called Bug Hunter. I'm back on YouTube. It's different. Different than what I was doing. I was in real life there for a second, and now I'm back online. Welcome to the stream. This is a Bug Hunter stream, and you get to watch me in real time remember how to do a YouTube stream, because I kind of just hit go and was like, I'll remember how to do it, and I don't. I do know that one thing I do is I like to say, who's here? Who's hanging out? We got Not Spooky Parker is here, Crimson is here, John Fluffles is here, Biggest of Men is here, Mars is here. So all the cool people are here. Noodle is here. Paul is here. Cornfield Cryptid, Benjamin Jackson, Tyler Young. Jem is here. I met Jem. Who else we got? That's everybody. It's everybody, huh? Fred. Did I say Fred? Fred's here. Izzer was here. Travis Hoyt was here a while ago. Jem is apologizing for meeting me. Not necessary. Silver Kyrie is here. Josh Fry is here. Josh Fry is here, but says Harper is here. So maybe Josh Fry is also Harper. It's kind of mysterious. This is the first time that I've been on stream since middle of October. It's the first time I've done a stream since Jam Mechanics has come out. Hey, look, it's my friend Matt from the Narcissist Cookbook. Hello, Matt. So I have so much to talk about. This is like why I don't even want to play music. I have so many things to talk about, but I will. So why don't I play a song first, and then we can all catch up. So think of your good old questions, and I'll play a song for y'all. I'm gonna play this one. I had an immense amount of fun playing this one. I played it for the first time after Happiness came out in, I think it was Manchester. Yeah. And I was blown away by. I played it a lot this summer, but nobody knew it then, and they liked it. But playing it for an audience that actually knew the song was so cool. And it starts tonight because tonight's the night, but not just any night. It is movie night. I would have made you dinner, but my toaster broke. So you put on a little sci-fi film about the dangers of blah, 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 whatever. I am barely watching, time is standing still. I'm about to change my life forever. I ask you if we can chat a minute, and you say sure when the movie's finished. So I fast forward to the end and say I think we should be more than friends. And you say, look, you're great. Uh-oh, that's not a good start. You say you're not ready for that and don't want to mess up what we have. But I have an idea, you say. And you reach into your bag of things that 20-year-olds think are good ideas. And you pull out this massive classic gem. If we're both still single at 30, will you marry me? It's a pinky promise shifted one to the right. It's too soon for I do's. Will you take it? I might. If we're both still single at 30, I am not your first choice, but I'm a solid 30 plan. Hot damn safety net that I am. You got a backup love, so you know where I stand. I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. a shot or a chance. So we cut to the scene where I build a machine, but not just any machine, it is a time machine. I made it from my toaster, like that movie, Hot Toast Time Machine. I load a bagel in the future slot, set the 10 and smack down on the lever. A decade passes in a single thought, I'm about to change my life forever. I find you and you're still single, I am obviously single. It's like a tale from a storybook, until you say, how does 40 look? But wait, I'm pretty sure you said, and I quote, if we're both still single at 30, will you marry me? It's a time capsule, no, it's a proposal. A little bit of neither and a little bit of both. So now we're both still single at 30, but apparently what you really meant to say was, ah, come on, let's pick an arbitrary number, kick the can down the road before we tie it to the bumper. You never thought we'd be single at 30, and I am still not your first choice, but I'm a solid 40 plan. Ah, damn safety net that I am. You got a backup love, so you know where I stand. I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. Yeah, I'll take a maybe, a shot, or a chance. There are no bagels in the future, I have got one left, but 2 slots on my toaster. One'll take me forward, one'll take me back. One's another chance and one is closure. I load my bagel, I made up my mind, set the 10, smack down on the lever. A decade passes as I go through time, I'm about to change my life forever. The jams, why? How did you time that right? I thought you weren't even listening. What in the world? I cannot hear you. Did you really just time that right? Someone type to Jams and tell Jams that he... Oh, okay, he's lying. Okay, gotcha. I was like, that's pretty impressive. Okay, now I've played a song. I feel like I've given you song content, and now we can talk about things that I want to talk about. Let's do a little cozy Q&A. I just got back from the UK. If you don't follow my adventures, and you're just like tuning in and be like, hey, what's this guy doing? Bug from Bug Hunter, write songs. I just got back from 9 shows in Europe. Did 7 of them in the UK, 1 of them in Dublin, and 1 of them in Berlin. If you want to know about that, or you were at one of those, I know Jem was, but it's late there. I don't know. I think if Matt is still here, Matt was at all those shows. But if you want to know about them, if you want to have questions, go ahead and ask. Captain Vara was at the London show. The London show was so much fun. It was the biggest of all the shows, and I had a great time. Gemma says that Manchester lives in their head rent-free. It's their Roman Empire. Cool. So if you want to ask me any questions about the tour or about Jam Mechanics, which is the podcast that Matt from the Narcissist Cookbook and I have started, and we have 2 episodes out online. With the last time I streamed, we had 0 episodes out online. Now we have 2. If you don't know about it, guess what? Guess who's going to be talking about it at every stream from now on, at least a little bit. John says, any string breaks? Yes. Matt broke 2 strings back to back in Berlin. But Matt is very good at changing strings because Matt performs a lot more than I do and has just gotten used to breaking and fixing strings. And when I break a string, I'm like, Matt, here, and I hand Matt the guitar, and then I do something else until it's fixed, which is a great relationship that we have in that regard. I pull my weight in other areas, and then I broke 2 strings in Edinburgh. But to be fair, I broke 1 string on my guitar, and then Matt gave me their guitar to just kind of continue because we didn't have any more strings left to fix it. And then I was like, I'm gonna break a string on this guitar for sure because Matt slaps the absolute garbage out of the guitar at every show, and Matt had already played that night, so I was like, this is not going to work. I'm going to break a string. Sure enough, I kept getting out of tune, and then like 2 songs later, the little E string just went boing. And so then we found an old string, I guess, and Matt restrung it, and I was able to finish the show. So good old times. Alexander Barkus says, how do you guys get ideas for talking points on your podcast? So if you haven't listened to the podcast, what it is Matt and I give each other song writing challenges. So we come to the recording, and it's nothing about the podcast is faked. We're looking completely genuine and sincere about all the behind the scenes stuff on the podcast. We don't know the challenges ahead of time. We really do only take 3 hours to work on the songs. And then we come back, basically show off our demos that we worked on for about 3 hours. And we just kind of talk about how it went, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, what's there to salvage from that demo, if it's really far along, if it's only half done, that kind of thing. So, where can I find your podcast? Everywhere you find podcasts. It's called Jam Mechanics. So the first episode, Matt prompted me with a Wiki Roulette article, which is basically like a random Wikipedia page, which ended up being a 2-sentence a stub about the mayor of some small island in Italy, and then the second episode, my challenge for Matt was just the word accident, but pronounced that way with a question mark, and Matt came up with something really brilliant for it. So it's really fun. It's like 30 minutes. It's not super long. It's edited down pretty well. We try and be funny. So and yes, Paul is right. The Wikipedia article is now not 2 sentences anymore. It's 3 sentences. Somebody has added our podcast as a part of the Wikipedia page. Play one of the Jam Mechanics songs from memory right now. Francesco was the mayor of a city by the shore. It's on the southern tip of Italy, known for tuna fish and tourists. He sends an email as a meeting, poses for the local paper. One more email, one more meeting, then a dinner with his neighbors. That's Francesco. It was 6 weeks ago. I worked on it for 2.5 hours and have not touched it since. So there you go. There's a little preview of a song that I started writing for the first episode of Jam Mechanics. So Dan says, random historically insignificant island, right? But watch your language, Dan. Yeah, I said on the podcast that somebody was gonna know what I was talking about because I did an info dump in my song, and Dan is one of those people. So Fred says, "I love the Bugtopia theme song." Yeah, I guess I didn't consider. People wanting to talk Jam Mechanic spoilers in on my YouTube streams, which I guess is okay. I guess maybe don't spoil too much. I'd never considered being confronted with Jam Mechanics content on this stream because the last time I streamed didn't have any Jam Mechanic stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, not Spooky Parker. Did you get any good Halloween candy? I did not, because I was in Berlin on Halloween and we didn't do any candy. No candy. It was just show. But you know what? The venue was the best. We've played 37 shows this year, and we have not had a venue like treat us like artists that they want to have around. In the green room, there was snacks. There was like little muffins and cookies and grapes and all of the soda and water we could drink, and so it wasn't candy, but at least I got some treats on Halloween. So but I pre-ate some of the Halloween candy that my wife was giving out to the trick-or-treaters. So before I left for the UK, I picked all of the red haichus out of the bowl that was meant for trick-or-treaters. And my wife didn't know that I had done that until Halloween night and sent me a text right before I went on stage and was like, "Excuse me." And I was like, "Trick-or-treat." They're really good. So Time Son wants to know if I knew about Bean Man, and Bean Man's not really my story to tell. Bean Man is a Narcissus Cookbook original. Just suffice to say, we scarred a lot of people at the Berlin show with Bean Man, and I knew about Bean Man. I technically signed off on Bean Man. Bean Man is just something that we all have to live with, and I just accepted that about my life and all the various ways that my life has gone to arrive kind of where it is now, where Bean Man is just kind of a part of it. What's the phrase? God bless the broken road that led me straight to Bean Man. So. Best pop-up bug joke of the tour. My dad just I don't want to spoil his jokes because he only has so many. So if I spoil his jokes, then you won't get to hear them on stage. Because my dad, if people don't know, my dad runs the show. He lets people in at the door and then introduces the acts in intermission and all that. So, anyways, if you want to know about Bean Man, go to the Narcissus Cookbooks Tumblr, and you'll be confronted with Bean Man. So. Cool. He got all the countries right this time, which is good. I'm actually going to see my dad tomorrow because I'm going to Nashville for a couple of days to see some family. So Miranda brings up a great point, and that's the next thing I wanted to talk about too. Miranda says, "I cannot believe I get to see you again in January. It's all I've been able to talk about today." Yes. Another thing that we announced today. Just got back from a tour. Should be sleeping. I'm not. I got too much to do. Honestly, I jumped right back into getting things done as soon as I got home because there's just so much to do. And one of those things was finally getting the ticket links approved and ready and released for the first ever Bug Hunter full discography playthrough. So if you have always dreamed of hearing echoes live, here's your chance. I'm kicking this off. My plan is here's like the honest plan. Here's like I don't have anything set in stone besides this show on January 5th and January 6th in Seattle, Washington. basically, my plan for next year is Matt and I plan to tour again. That's the goal. We don't know if we're going to be able to accomplish that because as we grow, kind of things need to happen regarding just like approval and crossing borders and visas and things like that. So obviously things can go wrong in that regard. But our plan is to tour again next year in America. Outside of that, I'm also trialing these full discography weekends, which basically is like on a Friday, I will play all of Torn Between a Couple, Intermission, all of the Rough Draft, end of show. The following day, we'll all come back to the same spot. I'll play Bigger Than Myself, Intermission, Happiness Without a Catch. So it's the full Bug Hunter discography, all 44 songs released thus far, played in order over 2 nights. The first one is going to be in Seattle. And I picked Seattle because it was our biggest turnout of any city this year, and it's my hometown. I live in Richmond, Virginia now, but I grew up musically in Seattle. That's where I went to my first open mic and kind of got my start in music in Seattle. So Seattle has always showed up for shows. And anyways, so we're gonna do that in Seattle. Now, if you really want to go to this and you don't live in Seattle, I can't stop you. But what I'll just say is, as long as this show in Seattle goes well, like we sell enough tickets to make it worthwhile with all the overhead of traveling and the venues and the rentals and the everything on all that, as long as it goes well, I want to do it in other cities. Now, I'll say like for certain, like I'm not going to do this show in small cities where we've had low turnout. Like if you saw us last year and there wasn't 200 plus people at the show, I'm not going to be able to do the show in your city. So like Vegas or Boise or Omaha, basically we had to have sold out like 250 tickets and had the show sold out for a couple months for the city to kind of work for us. Like Boston is a great example. Boston, we had 2 shows, 140 people and 200 people, so it's 340 people in Boston. Like, if it works in Seattle, it'll work in Boston. If it works in Seattle, it'll work in Chicago. So hopefully I'll know within the next month whether or not this Seattle show is selling tickets fast enough to like warrant doing more of these. And then I'll have a few more cities hopefully next year that I can do this in. So don't rush. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's 2 options here. Either Seattle sells out super super fast, and I'll go do it in a city probably closer to you than Seattle. And if it doesn't sell out super super fast, I will let everybody know. Hey, this show isn't selling like I wanted it to. Maybe we're just not there in our career. I'm kind of taking a risk that people actually want to come to a 2-night thing. It's a little more expensive. It's a little more time. It's there's a lot of fans out there who really just know disco and Dear McCracken and Too Bad Too Bad. They don't know anything else, and this show may not interest them. So I'm taking kind of a risk that there's enough people in a city to want to come to a show like this. But if it's not the case, I'll let people know and say this might actually just be the only time we're going to do this. And in that case, there will be plenty of tickets left because that will be why we aren't doing it elsewhere. So, anyways, so that is just my PSA for like if you live in New York and you're like, I gotta buy tickets to this immediately. I'd wait. Because if the Seattle show just fills up with people who flew from across the country to see it, then I'll get the wrong idea about whether or not a city can support it, and then I'll book 5 more of these and no one will show up. So Time Stone wants to know, did somebody recognize you outside of your touring at airports or diners? No, I've been recognized twice in public. The first one was at Gen Con in Indianapolis a year ago, and the second was at a My Brother and Me show in Richmond, Virginia earlier this year. So those are the 2 times I've been recognized outside of shows. And the funny thing is, I get anti-recognized at my own shows most of the time. I will run the door sometimes, or like the merch table ahead of a show, and people will often uh, not realize that I'm the performer, because me and my dad and Matt, we just run it kind of as a 3-person crew, and so if my dad is on stage like introducing the first act, then I will go stand by the door and I'll just let people in, and most people don't recognize me, so anyways. Crimson says, I realized it was you when I was in Chicago, but I was too shy to say anything. That is also plausible, but I do have people come up to me afterwards and say, I didn't realize that when I came in the door that you were you. And I think it's funny. Don't worry. I very misleadingly put a different actor in my music videos, and then poked fun at that fact with the Braga music video about us both auditioning to be me in the Bug Hunter music video, and my Deep Blue Ink avatar looks nothing like me. So, Mara says, I was talking to someone before a show while you were at the merch table, and I referred to you with a gesture, and they went, that's Bug? I thought that was just some guy, which is also correct. It's true. I am also just some guy. They weren't wrong when they said that, because I am just some guy. What's an inside joke you have with Matt you made on this tour? We have some good ones. I'm trying to think of one that I could possibly explain. That would make sense. Matt, if you're still here, you feel free to chime in. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's an appropriate one. Cool Duke Nukem says, I just recently found your channel. I was confused with the whole video actor avatar thing. I'm still not sure who is who. Well, I'm me. Again, we can settle that. I'm Bug. Like it or not. Matt says I'm not bailing out of this. I'm me. I'm Bug. I am the person who writes the songs and sings them and all that stuff. The actor in the Pinecones video and the Disco and the Panic Room video is an actor named Sam Wall, who is now a good friend. I didn't know him when he started, but we've met since, and I don't know. I've never really wanted to put my face too much on things. That's why I created the Bug logo, which is just the 3 circles and the antenna. That has always suited me better. I like having a nice little logo. And then we wanted an actor to play, and Sam filled in the very last minute when the original actor, I think he got sick. And so Sam filled in, and then we've just been using Sam for a lot of the videos. And then when Deep Blue Ink was kind of coming up with the design for the Be Glad I Love You video, we're just like, yeah, just do it like that. That'll be easier. So, anyways. Trixie says, I'm rather new around here, but I've heard a couple of your songs. I was wondering if you had any suggestions on what songs to be sure to listen to. Okay, so I'm gonna guess, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. My sense of what people have heard now that the new album is out is a little skewed, but I'm gonna assume that you've heard Two Bed, Two Bath, and a Ghost, because you're on my YouTube, and you've probably heard Disco in the Panic Room and Dear McCracken. I would recommend, if you like being cathartically sad, listen to a song called Take It Back. If you like just being sad, you can listen to a song called Fan Fiction. But probably listen to... it kind of works a little bit better if you listen to the entire album before it, but that I know that is a big ask of someone who is asking for suggestions and is kind of a new fan. The new album, Happiness Without a Catch, it all kind of gels together in a way. So time someone wants me to look directly into the camera. I don't know why you want me to do that, so I'm not going to, because I feel like you're going to take like a screenshot or something. I can look directly into the camera, but I don't like making eye contact, and it feels like eye contact. No, I'm reading the chat. That's the only reason I'm looking down. And then sometimes I look at myself. This is me looking at myself, and this is me looking at the chat. Yeah, super sus. Cool Duke Nukem says, recommend the full Happiness Without a Catch album. Video is a good start. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know where to start people off. I was actually having this conversation with somebody after the Southampton show about, now that the new album is out, if someone was like, came up to you and said, hey, where do you start with Bug Hunter? Like what is the answer now? Is it still Disco in the Panic Room? Is it still Dear McCracken? Is it still Too Bad, Too Bath and a Ghost? Is it still Be Glad I Love You? Kind of just like those ones, or is it, start Happiness Without a Catch, song 1, and just keep listening? So I don't know. I think time will tell, but I think Happiness is a very good representation of kind of my songwriting, and it's one of, I think it might be starting a little too high concept. You know what? Listen to Robin a Bank. Listen to Robin a Bank for like 2 months, and then listen to fan fiction. I think that'd be a really fun experiment. The Tiresome wants to know, what's the white dot in the corner of the image? A doorstop? That's a great question. I think you're referring to this this button over here. It's a button, and I'm not allowed to press it. So, don't ask me to press it. So. Tyler says, even the songs on Happiness that didn't immediately become instant favorites grew on me a lot. Yeah, I think there's some sleeper catchy songs on the album. So what I'll say is, I went to the UK. This is the first tour that I've done where Happiness has been out. It came out in September, and obviously we toured just like last week. So this was the very first time I landed over there, got to Dublin, was like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I know people are going to sing along to Dear McCracken. I know people aren't going to sing along to Who I'm Singing To. I know people are going to sing along to Boogie Pete. But these 11 new songs, with the exception of Too Bad, Too Bath and a Ghost, I don't know kind of where people are going to be with them. It seemed like the album was really, really well received just in like the fan base. But I didn't know how that was going to translate to actual like people at the shows, with a mix of Narcissus Cookbook fans and Bug Hunter fans. I didn't know what they were going to do, and everybody pretty much popped off for the entire album, the whole tour. I'd say standouts, Shocking Plot Twist, Not Like That, 30 Plan, were probably the three big ones, just as far as just like it seemed like the whole audience knew all the songs and sang along very, very enthusiastically. And then next, like 30 Plan was like very, very close by. What did I say? 30 Plan, Shocking Plot Twist, 30 Plan, Not Like That. I played Robin and Bank fan fiction a couple of times, and a little harder. I think Robin is a little harder to sing along to, except for the chorus, which everybody got pretty well. And then fan fiction is like, obviously you can't really sing along to that song, so kind of hard to tell, like gauging. Sometimes and it's probably not right, but gauging how much fun everyone is having by how loud people are singing along, which is not a great metric when you have a song like fan fiction. So it's kind of hard to get a read on if people enjoyed it or not. So I played Coward and Alchemical Romance a couple of times, and they people seem to know them, but not with the kind of like veracity that they had for the other songs. And then, A Bedtime Story. Yeah, I forgot about A Bedtime Story. A Bedtime Story was very well received. Thanks, and I think a huge part to my good friend Matt from the Narcissus Cookbook helping me out with that. So, yeah. I forgot about A Bedtime Story. A Bedtime Story might have been the most well received out of all those. The Time the Sun says, you just said popped off. What's some Gen Z slang you know? I thought I got popped off from Matt. I'm pretty sure that Matt said that a lot, and so I'm pretty sure I got that from that. I had a great time playing Bedtime Story on this tour. I really kind of thought that was a throwaway song when I put it on the album. I was like, either people are going to be really into bear puns, or people are just going to kind of move on from this one very quietly, and I'll just be like, okay, sorry about the bear song. And everybody loved it. Everybody loves it. It's so good. It's really fun to play live. Yeah, so that one went really well. Basically, I think we did it on every show except like 2. Yeah, so I reckon that will become a bit of a show staple. So. Tyler-san wants a bear voice demo. Yeah, I mean, it is my voice, but it's also not like my voice by itself. You know, it's processed. So, you know, it's a song. Do I do cameos with bear voice? No, the bear voice is not my, like, I did a voice, but it's not, it's like, there's like a mixed in, like, downshifted, like, yeah. We don't care. We want bear voice. Okay. Well, I'll find a way to hook up a audio processor to my microphone for live streams. Anyways, we did record the London show like really nicely. We got some like really nice video done of the London show. So hopefully y'all should be able to see a Bedtime Story live from this tour, which is really fun. So, Captain Barr says Bug is getting peer pressured in his own live stream. Not possible. People have given me money on these live streams to do something before, and I say, hey, thanks for the money. I'm not doing it. Any weird exotic venues this time around? Chelsea was a fever dream of a tour. Let's see. All the venues this time were actually like proper music venues that had like sound technicians and speakers, which has not always been the case for some of our tours in the past. We've been very DIY the last little bit, and luckily we're kind of reaching audience sizes in most cities that we can just be like, yeah, we can just play in a music venue and they'll give us the time of day. This let's see, in Dublin we played in like a upstairs music venue. Liverpool was like a grungy like metal bar. It was like a little music venue in the back of a bar, and it was just like covered in stickers of other bands, and just like it looked like a place that like would have just like double bass pedals going at all times and people moshing, and then we were there just like, you were the best at telling stories, and doing little bear voices. So that was fun. Manchester was in like this weird little alley. You had to go up some stairs, but the venue was cool. I liked it. Wales was like this cool like rehearsal studio that had like a big cool stage. Berlin was probably my favorite venue because they gave me muffins ahead of time. But it was like on the river, like our green room, like the windows were like at like river level, so it felt like we were on a boat. And yeah, it was just beautiful. Like you just walk out the thing, and there was like the river there, and like the bridge, and the Berlin Wall across there. It was like super cool. And then Southampton was in a bar with a venue upstairs. London was in a railway arch. Yeah, so it was cool. Let's see, Newcastle was in like this really, really tiny little room. It was like the smallest room we played, and it was totally packed in. And then Edinburgh was just a room. It was just a room. It didn't even have a stage, which I didn't know. Anybody who came to Edinburgh and was sad about the fact that you couldn't see us from the back, I also didn't know that there wasn't a stage. It was a music venue, and there was just very few pictures of it, and I just assumed that they would have a stage, and they just didn't. So I've never been to a 220 cap venue that didn't have a stage, because with 220 people, if that many people are there, like obviously you wouldn't be able to see from the back. So I was as surprised as everybody else, and I apologize for that. But it was cool. Green Day played there in 1992, which was neat. So. Time wants to know what these knobs on my guitar are, and that's a great question. So there are 3 of them. Here's what they do. So this one right here, the one closest to the front of the guitar, that is the volume. It has no effect on anything I'm doing on this stream because I'm just recording the sounds that my guitar makes from the sound hole in a microphone. That's right here. You never see it, but it's right there. It's the same microphone that my voice is being picked up on. So so it just, if I was plugged in, there's a little plug right here that you can plug a cord into to go into like a sound setup. This will change like the volume of my guitar. So if I turn it all the way down, no sound will be coming out. If I turn it all the way up, that's too loud. So I normally put it around right there. The other 2 are the frequency boosts for like high frequency sounds, which would be something like, and the other one is for low frequency sounds, more like. And so if you feel like the low end of your guitar is like not present enough in the sound, you can adjust the closer knob to you to turn it up or turn it down, and then the high frequencies you can do that the same here. Generally, for the most part, most sound systems, you just keep everything just kind of in one spot. And sometimes I'll look down at my guitar halfway through a show and realize that the bass is turned all the way to 0, and be like, I must have done that by accident, putting on my guitar strap. And then I fix it, and then I mentally think, oh god, this has probably sounded pretty bad. So anyways, that's what those 3 knobs are. So when are you coming back to Germany? I missed your tour because I discovered you just now. Oh no, I was there a week ago. It was a week ago tonight. Yeah, so at least a year. I'm sorry. I always feel bad when people discover us right after tour. But it cannot be helped because there's too many people in the world. Ash wants to know if I still have the crochet bug plushie from the Cleveland show. And to that I ask, what Cleveland show? I've never played in Cleveland. What are some gifts you have gotten this leg of the tour? Anything incredibly neat or interesting? Yes, I'm going to show off one because it is the most niche joke that has ever been put to canvas, and I love this so much, and I just have it handy. So this is, somebody painted this for Matt and I. There's 2 copies of it. Matt has one and I have the other, and this one over here says everybody always thinks I'm a dinosaur, and it's a painting of a dump truck. And over here is a painting of a dinosaur that says nobody ever thinks I'm a dinosaur, and that is a dinosaur, and I'm assuming named Harrison, but that's a spoiler for one of my songs. And it is so funny. If you know the Narcissus Cookbook music and the song My Booty is a Dump Truck. And there's a reference to a T-Rex branded dump truck in that song that Matt has had to stop and explain in shows before, like, it's a type of dump truck. Anyways, this was amazing. And since this was sitting on top of it when I grabbed it, I'll show this off too because it's really neat. It's a painting of a T-Rex hugging a brontosaurus. So, yeah, but I got some great art this time around. Very cool, and some food too. Matt says Booty is so much worse than what I say. Yeah, I know. I just said it so that someone could clip the YouTube clip and use it. Time Some is looking around my room and just asking about where things are. Yeah, that that plug. You want to know what it is? I'll show you. It's my lights. Normally it's hidden by my guitar when I'm playing it. Tomato says I'm a goof. Dan wants to know what the dot is on the wall behind me. That's a button. I can't press it. Yeah. Don't ask me to press that button. Cool. What time is it? I've been talking for like 10 years. I just wanted to talk this stream. I don't know. I didn't want to play music. That's what I did. I'll play one more song. What do y'all want to hear? I'm seeing a lot of new album songs. Okay. Mars says coward. Mars was the third coward. This song is, I think, a pretty good song. People didn't know it as much on the sewer, but that's okay. They'll come around to it. My honey thinks I'm a coward. My darling thinks I'm a dud. My sweetheart swears I'm a bit too mean. My lover doubts I'm a fighter. My sugar is sure I am neither. My baby don't sprinkle but thinks I'm weak. So you say to me, why can't you be more like Bug Hunter? Fighting petty thieves behind the Wendy's, thwarting robberies, defending all the cowards too afraid to be Bug Hunter. A vigilante and a fighter, pulling grannies out of fires. Though his spandex is too tight, we love Bug Hunter. You can run, you can hide, and you change your mind. My honey thinks I'm a coward, that I have no superpowers, that I'm just the average sloppy Joe. But you say no, I'll give you some credit. You do seem athletic. When you run, jump, leap from the scene and exit, you might be prophetic, at least telepathetic. So I'm thinking of a hero, no need to guess it. It might sting, but let it be yours if you'd be a bit more like Bug Hunter. When the skateboard park collapsed, guess who dressed up in his mask with 20 grannies on his back? That's right, Bug Hunter. Whereas you were not around, you disappeared when it went down. I found your clothes thrown on the ground. Why were you naked? Forget it. You can run, you can hide, and you can change your mind made up. You can run, you can hide, and you can change your mind made up. Do you wonder why there's so much spandex in my laundry when you wash it? Please stop putting it in the dryer. And when I miss your birthday, did you catch the news that night? 'Cause if you'd watched it, you know the lack of grannies dying on your birthday. And do you ever wonder why the honeybee steps you every weekend, forcing me, I mean Bug Hunter, to come save you? And you never say thank you or see us in the same room. My honey thinks I'm a coward, eyes closed and all set to judge. I can run, I can hide, I can't change, your mind's made up. So go ahead and call me a coward. The truth hurts, a lie never does. I'd rather fight crime than your mind when your mind's made up. Thanks, everybody. I'm glad y'all like this song. I really like this song. I think it's a lot of fun. It's kind of sad, but It's still fun. Captain Barris says, my sibling pointed out to me that the spandex is too tight because they keep putting it in the dryer, which I missed the 100 times I listened to it. Thank you. That is one of my favorite jokes in the song, and I knew that it was kind of hard to catch, but I alley-ooped myself there. Fancy Clown wants to see my pic. Yeah, sure, if you can see that. It's a toddler slingshot pic. I have several of them. I do have these too. If you like guitar picks, I think I sell these on my website. I was selling them on tour, but I have these as well. I don't play with these because they're a little too heavy for me to play with, but they're a little shocking plot twist and platonic best friend guitar picks as well. And then if you ever want to see what the happiness Kickstarter picks look like, they have the little logo on it. So I do sell them on the website. Very cool. That was smart of me. Cool. Hey, so this might be my last stream for a second. I'm going to Nashville. So I don't know if I'm going to stream on Sunday. I'll be back Sunday, but not at my normal. Definitely won't make it by my normal time. But maybe I'll hop on later. Probably not. It doesn't sound like something I would do. And then next Wednesday we'll have to see. I don't know. I have some private shows next week, and I don't remember what day they are, but I know I have like 3 of them. And sometimes if I do enough private shows in a day, I don't want to do my stream anymore. Anyways. I don't know when I'll see you again. There's a lot of stuff going on in the near future. The Thanksgiving, and my wife is graduating from school, and it's Ladybug's birthday here pretty soon, and then we're gonna be traveling for Christmas, and a little bit longer after that. I'll be in Seattle for a little bit. Obviously, I'll be in Seattle on January 5th and 6th for the Discography show. So I don't know exactly how many streams I'm gonna have in me for the next 4 months, but I'm gonna try and do my best. I might have to change my schedule. We'll see. In the meantime, keep looking. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at noon Eastern time. So, anyways, yeah, the next little bit is just gonna be kind of weird schedule, while we travel a bit and stuff. So, listen to Jam Mechanics. It's a really good podcast by me and Matt from the Narcissist Cookbook. If you're, so here's the thing about the podcast. If you're willing to sit through an hour of me by myself talking and playing 2 songs, then you should definitely be willing to listen to me and Matt talk for half an hour and do 2 songs. And they're new songs that you've never heard before. Well, they're demos, but they're still new. Yeah, and I haven't had anybody say anything mean about the podcast yet. Everybody seems to really like it a lot. We're really proud of it. Matt said this, I think, I can't remember if it was Edinburgh or Newcastle. It's like, the most obnoxious thing you can say is, you should listen to my podcast. But you should. I wouldn't say it to anybody, but to the 31 people who are still on my stream on a Wednesday night, you'll like it. If you like this at all, it's better than this for sure. It's called Jam Mechanics, and it's very fun. Noodle wishes it was a full hour. Yeah, we're gonna mess with the length. We wanted to keep it short to start. I edit pretty aggressively. We do talk for over an hour, and then I just start hacking away unnecessary stuff and some necessary stuff, but we might look into lengthening the episodes a little bit, if enough people tell us that they'd like them to be longer. So, cool. Yeah, see, look at all these nice comments. Everyone talking about the podcast. It's really sweet. Poppy says, I wanted more Lord of the Rings. I did leave in everything we said about Lord of the Rings in the second episode. I had to cut everything that wasn't Lord of the Rings in order to do that. So, Tomato says they know maybe one Narcissist Cookbook song, but they seem cool. They are cool. I know them pretty well, and they are very cool. So, yeah. Anyways, cool. I am gonna go because it's time to go. So, hey, goobers, go to bed.